Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another video on Paralives. So this is going to be another video where we go through some tweets about stuff that may or may not make it into the final game. And most of these this time around I actually found thanks to a recent article from Paralives Hub, so I will also link to that in the video description below. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The first question relates to weather. So Therese asks, "Hi Alex, do you have any plans for different types of climates? Like one world with all 4 seasons and one where the sun shines all year round?" And Alex replies saying, "Hi, yes, we might do that eventually." I do hope that makes it into the game because I think that is a really great way of making each world distinct from one another. That's one thing I love about The Sims 4 Seasons, where even though you have all 4 seasons and all the different worlds, they act differently. They're not all the same. Some have a bit of overlap because they happen to have similar sort of looking climates, like, say, Strangerville and Oasis Springs. But yeah, I'm really glad they did the climate stuff that time. And keeping on the topic of seasons, Sunflower asks, "Will we get calendars and snow depth?" And Alex says, "We are considering these." Yes, please, to both of those. I think the calendar is one of the best things about The Sims 4 that the other games didn't really have, so I hope that we can have calendars so that it's easier to keep track of our Sims schedules and hopefully be able to make our own custom holidays. We actually will talk about holidays a bit later on in this video. But snow depth, hopefully Paralives does it, because I was really disappointed when The Sims 4 did not, especially coming from someone who lives in Canada. We're used to getting really deep snow up here during the winter, so when there is no snow depth, in my opinion, winter is a lot less authentic that way. One interesting question I saw came from Ben, saying, "Hey Alex, I am loving the sneak peeks of the game so far. One question though, in terms of pricing, how are you going to price items that are resizable, such as a desk? Will it be more expensive if it is sized bigger?" And Alex says, "Hi, thank you. Yes, the price will adjust itself when you resize an object." That's really clever. I did not think about that. But yes, there are many objects that you can resize. For example, there's one clip where you can actually take a table lamp and then you can resize it into a floor lamp. So the prices between a table lamp and a floor lamp should be different. So that's good. That's good that's being taken into account and cannot be manipulated so easily. So a couple more questions here. Bun asked, "I have a few questions towards Paralives. 1. Will there be a similar roommate system to the one in The Sims where you can't control them? 2. Would there be a way to split one lot so I can have 2 buildings right next to each other but not be on the same lot?" And Alex says, "Hi, we are strongly considering this for number 1, and for number 2, you can place a wall on the edge of a lot, so you should be able to do that." Oh yeah, I think Alex did talk about placing walls on the edge of a lot before, but I completely forgot. So that is really cool that we can build right up to the edge, because that does annoy me in The Sims that, especially with fences, we can't do that. So yeah, it should be a lot easier to do those sorts of things like townhouses and such. The roommate system is not really something I need that badly, but I guess would be nice as an extra. So for the holidays question, Tropes asks, "You've mentioned you don't want religions in the game, and since most real-life holidays are tied to one religion or another, how are holidays going to work? Can one Parafolk family light a menorah for Hanukkah while another lights a Christmas tree? Could we make up our own holidays?" And Alex replies saying, "There will be objects related to different religions and cultures, so you could make up your own holidays." So by the sounds of it, maybe there won't be holidays as like full-on gameplay feature like in The Sims 4 Seasons, but you'll still have the means to celebrate the holidays on your own terms if you want to. In my opinion, that is a little unfortunate if true, though I think I'm in the minority here, because I think nowadays people are more so annoyed when holidays happen, but I still like them. I still like celebrating them when they come up, as long as they do apply to the Sims that I'm playing with at the moment. Because, for example, I put one custom holiday in my game called Pet Appreciation Day, But then if I'm currently playing as a household that has no pets, well then I can't do anything. But that's because of a mod mainly. But with things like Snowflake Day and Spooky Day, then I can celebrate those with all of my Sims, and I do like the feature. The next question comes from Christopher. Will the jobs have job interviews and job orientations and be paying weekly/bi-weekly like in real life? And Roxanne replies saying, not sure yet. Bi-weekly pay might not fit the game's timescale, though I like the idea of some jobs having higher requirements. Skills, past experience, etc. Yeah, I don't think I need the job orientations. Maybe job interviews could be interesting if there's a bit of humor injected into them. But yeah, skills and past experiences, I think that would be interesting if some careers required those. The next question is about difficulty. So Minimutt asks, do you guys have any plans for the difficulty yet? Sims 1 and Sims 2, I was always struggling with keeping up my needs and not dying, while Sims 4 feels too easy sometimes. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And Roxanne replies saying, we still have a lot to develop for the live mode, but we're likely going to have customizable difficulty settings, example, slower or faster need decay speed. That's a really good idea. I think this would be a good way of satisfying a broader range of people rather than just having one difficulty setting that's just there in the game and trying to be a one-size-fits-all and not quite succeed. The next question is about ghosts. So Thigh Enchantress asks, since graveyards and gravestones are a thing, does this mean ghosts will be? Playable or not, it would be cool. And Alex says, not for now, but we want to include ghosts eventually. Yes, so there was a previous video where Alex said ghosts are not going to be in the base game, and I'm a little disappointed in that still. But it is good to know that they do want to still put ghosts in the game anyway. Next question is on wheelchairs. So Bryn asks, will there be wheelchairs in Paralives? I personally use a manual wheelchair and power wheelchair, and are hoping they will be in your game. If you need anyone who uses a wheelchair to talk about realistic ideas, feel free to reach out to me. And Roxanne replies saying, we'd like to include them, but it might not be at launch, as they'd require a bunch of additional coding and animation work. Most likely they'll come in a free update later on. Community outreach will be super helpful when we get there, thank you. So that answer does make a lot of sense to me. There is a lot of extra animation they would have to do for wheelchairs, and I think that's why they haven't put that in The Sims 4. Because that was a topic that came up 1 or 2 years ago, but we still don't have it now, and I'm thinking maybe for The Sims 5 they would do something like that, because with The Sims 4, we have years of content that they'd have to go back and kind of like update with wheelchairs in mind, and that'd just be so much stuff. So I think they would probably do that in a new game. And yeah, I can still understand that with Paralives, they'd still have to maybe wait until after launch to put in all that effort for wheelchairs. They would also have to decide whether it would be possible for parafolk to become wheelchair bound from things that could happen in the game, or if it is strictly just assigned through the Paramaker. I'm definitely okay with the idea of being able to assign it through the Paramaker, because then it is more open-ended and it can accommodate for disabilities. However, I don't think I want to see parafolk become possibly wheelchair-bound through severe injuries, because I'm okay with wheelchairs, but I don't want super violent accidents happening in Paralives, because I think that would be a little bit too much. Next up is babies. So M asks, will the babies in Paralives be objects like in The Sims, or will we be able to actually play with them? And Alex replies saying, babies will not be objects. And Danny asks, will they have their own personalities? And Alex says yes to that. So yeah, I did talk about whether babies might be objects in Paralives or not, and Alex was like, yeah, that's not what I would want. I would not want them to be objects, but yeah, it's good to hear, again, for sure, that babies will not be objects. And that's cool that the babies will have their own personalities, too. I wonder how that will work. Roxanne also responded to Alex's answer, saying the enduring trauma of object babies. This must be one of the most common questions we get, haha. And Camille asks, will there be menstrual cycles? Maybe an option that can be turned off, but I would love to be able to have kids if my character is ovulating. If she can or can't because of a problem, etc., that would be great. Roxanne replies saying, opinions are super mixed on that, to be honest. It's more realistic, but not necessarily fun / meaningful gameplay, plus time scaling issues. I do think fertility being variable could lead to interesting stories though. Yeah, I don't really need menstrual cycles in Paralives, because I know with The Sims 4, there's the Slice of Life mod by Kawaii Stacy, which, in my personal opinion, is the best mod for The Sims 4 right now. It has so many features, and one of those is a menstrual cycle, and I actually have taken that out because there are different folders, so you can kind of customize what features from Slice of Life you want and which ones you don't want, so I feel menstrual cycles is a little too realistic for my personal taste, so yeah, I don't really feel any different about that when it comes to Paralives. But if it can be turned on or turned off, that would be great. Maybe that could be added through an update, because I think I would rather them focus on other stuff first for the base game launch. And that wraps up another video on Paralives, so feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and everything that I talked about in this video, and if you are excited about the game. And be sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with my latest content from The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!